All right, folks, got another update for you. This time, what's on the table? As I mentioned in my hobby update, I was going to do I was going to break out Conflict of Heroes and start playing that again. I've played this game, the scenarios, numerous times. I've had the core box at least twice. I ended up selling it off the first time for some reason. Played it numerous times, and I'm just getting back into it again. And like I said before, it's one of those games that's just a complete joy to play. I mean, it's moderate in complexity. Fast moving. It doesn't take up a lot of space on your table, as you can see here. One thing I'll show you right off the bat, and it always impresses me, the size of these counters. It's like they got to be like 1 inch square. Let's get a close up here. As you can see, that counter is pretty big. And since I have these out, here is a counter from Great Battles of the American Revolution game system I was just playing, so you can see the difference. And you know what? Let's put it next to a squad leader counter. So yeah, that is huge, and I love that. And yeah, there is that. But I'll tell you, really do enjoy this game, and I thought I'd show it off, my little progress that I've got going on here so far. And this is the first scenario that you'll learn to play when you first get started. It's pretty straightforward and simple. Germans are coming on from this side, and the Russians are coming on from over here. They got some units already on the table. And it's basically you're fighting for control of this hex here, which is an ambush point, which the Russians are seeking to do, and get some supplies. And the Germans are coming in to repulse these guys, capture them if they can. And so far in the scenario, it's back and forth, and it seems to be favoring the Russians, who have currently, at the top of turn 3, 2 victory points to 0 for the Germans. In fact, I'll show you that. As you can see, these little sheets right here, you've got the Russians, that's their play sheet. Here's the Germans down here. Both sides keep track of victory points that they accumulate for their side. They keep track of their APs, which are action points, and their command points, their command action points, separately for each side. And keeping track of the turn right here, turn 3. Got a unit of reinforcements for the Germans coming on this turn. They are pioneers, and they look nasty. So they'll be fun to throw into the game, see if they can make a difference. But yeah, that's what the gameplay sheets look like. And that's the layout of the game. The maps are fantastic. You can zoom in here. You can see what it looks like. I've showed off these maps before. Of course, I got plexiglass over top of this, so there's kind of a little bit of glare going on. But I pointed something else out with these maps, and it was the shadows that you can see on the maps, which is always impressive to me. You can see the shadows here of these trees, like tall pines, actually coming down onto the road. That is fantastic. So, yeah. Absolute joy, these maps. But I just wanted to show this off to you guys and show you what I'm currently doing here. And each one of these is a squad, basically. It's a tactical level game. Let me see if that'll focus. Yeah, I won't do it, which is a shame. So yeah, these are each squads. Here's a unit of Germans that's currently cowering. They took a hit, and the Russians moved into that hex and are attempting to close assault them. Their first attempt was not successful, unfortunately. In this case, the cowering result boosts the defense values of the squad because they're basically cowering. But it costs more APs to launch an attack. Is that what that is? Yeah. As well as to move. It's a really ingenious game. You spend action points to basically take actions with a unit. Like one of these counters is a unit, a squad in this case. You just declare, I'm going to activate this. It gets so many action points to spend throughout this turn, and usually 7, although there's rules to randomize that. And every action you take will cost so many APs, action points. Like, for instance, if you look at this unit, this value here, 1, let me zoom down here for you. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense. This one on the far right there, that 1, that's the number of action points they have to spend in order to move. This number to the far left upper corner, this 4, is the number of action points they spend in order to fire one time. Down here in the bottom are their attack ratings, a 3 against soft targets like enemy infantry. The blue 0 is against armor, so they have no effect on that really with the 0. Number here in the middle, the star 5, that's their range. Double that is the max. Adjacent is close, and you get a bonus to your die roll to hit with that. And on the far right is their defense values. The top one is if they're shot from the flank or rear, and the bottom one is their frontal defense value. And basically, this value, for instance 12, when they're shot at from the front, when the attacker shoots at me, he has to beat that value. In this case, it's a 12. If I'm inside heavy woods, I'm going to get a bonus to that 12 of +2, so it's going to be 14. He's going to need to score 14 to be able to hit me. If he's shooting at me from behind, or a flank hex, that would be this hex, and this hex, anywhere from here, I would use the top defense value, which is an 11. And terrain modifies that as well, like if I'm in light woods or heavy woods, that'll be a +1 or a +2 to my defense value. And basically, to hit, he's going to roll 2d6. He's going to add his attack value, usually the top value, which is 3, against soft targets, like enemy infantry in this case. He rolls 2d6. He will add 3 to it. He can add up to 2 CP, which are command action points. I'm not going to go into that, but it's something each side starts with. It's kind of like your commander's ability to command and get things done. He could add up to 2 points to that roll. And there's other ways to get modifiers to this. Close range, it's a +3, or is it +2? There's a bonus for close range. I'll give you adjacent hex. If you're at long range, which is up to twice this value here, this 5, that's their normal range. Up to twice that is long range. I believe there's some kind of penalty. I forget what that is. Yeah, so basically he wants to beat that defense value, whatever it is. And if he does, here's where it gets fun. Yeah. If he gets hit, you can't see it. There's a whole slew of counters. They're these yellow ones like pinned. And you randomly pull one out of a bag or a cup. And that's what it is. In case I got mine in this bag here, there's a whole bunch of them in there. And you don't know what you're going to get. It could be cowering. It could be pinned. It could be KIA, suppressed, panicked. And all these have modifiers to the stats I just showed you. The defense ratings, the attack ratings, range, the AP cost to move, the AP cost to attack. All of these values on here modify that unit's stats. And this black no-no symbol basically means just that. It can't attack in this case. It gets +1 to its flanked defense value, -2 to its frontal defense value, which is bad. And this number here in the middle is it's equal or greater than 8 is how you rally. You take an action, you spend an AP, 5 APs, to be able to attempt to rally, which in this case is an 8 or greater on 2d6. You can modify that, and if you get it, you remove the marker. It's as simple as that. Elimination of units results in victory points, among other things. So it's a pretty straightforward, simple game. It's fun to play. And again, these big counters make it even more accessible for us guys with bad eyes, which I have, and clumsy fingers. I mean, I do have these, but they're almost irrelevant, really. You really don't need them. And these are my big ones, too. These are the ones I normally use. Much smaller. They don't even fit on this counter. But really, it's unnecessary to even use tweezers or whatever. It's easy to move and do what you want with these. And when the unit's done activating for the turn, and again, they usually have 7 or it's a random value, you flip them. And that's their side. That means they're done. They're done for the round. Yeah. So that's the way that works. I'll have to go back to the video and see where this guy was. I believe he was... Well, I'm going to have to go back and look. But anyway, folks, I just wanted to show you guys how cool this game really is. I'm a big fan of ASL, and for good reason. I just love all that detail. But you know, like I was telling my friend Ian, it's nice to have something like this on the side that's easy to learn. It's a nice little change of pace. And I know a lot of people love this game. This is their World War II game, so it's not like, oh my God, it's too easy and simple. It's for kids. It's not like that at all. But for me, though, you know, I like something more detailed and engrossing. Not that this doesn't do that, but obviously it doesn't have the detail of ASL. I don't think anything has the detail of ASL. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on it all. So there you go, folks. I'm having a blast. This is basically me relearning the system, and I'll stick with this for a while. I want to record a full battle for you guys like I've done with some other games. And I want to use the solo expansion with this, because this has an absolutely fascinating set of rules for playing solo, using cards and all kinds of things. And I was skimming through it earlier today. And it recommends that, you know, you read the first section in the core rules before you jump into the solo stuff. So, yeah, it makes sense. You know, refresh my memory at least on how the basics of this game works. And then I'm going to get into the solo stuff. So I'm hoping to play this out, finish it up, maybe try a little bit more, another scenario, but I want to jump into the solo stuff, and that's where I'm going to record a full battle for you guys. And not only show you some World War II Eastern Front action, but also show you the solo expansion to this game and how it plays. I've never tried the solo expansion, so I'm actually pretty excited. See how it works. And as I said many times, most of my games are solo, so let's see how this turns out. So there you go, folks. Just a little update showcasing Awakening the Bear, Conflict of Heroes. Great fun, having a blast. And I'll get back to you guys soon with the results of this little practice and what's next. Hopefully, it'll be the first scenario for the solo expansion. Oh, and I believe with the solo expansion, it has a, like this, it's got program learning. You know, you're jumping and you're playing a scenario right from the beginning using bare minimum of rules. You play that and then you add a little more bit of rules and go on with that. So I'll probably be jumping into the solo scenario, the learning scenario for the solo mechanics very shortly, honestly. So stay tuned for that. I'm pretty excited, having a blast. Okay, folks, you guys take care. Any questions, comments, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and all that goodness. And remember, folks, hang in there. It's only going to get better. You guys take care.